Hi, I'm Like. I'm the software developer.
Hey, I'm Naven, and I'm the lead developer.
I'm Braden, and I'm also a software developer.
And I'm Josh, and I'm the UI designer.
I'm David, project manager, and we're Team Hanlon. Malawi is a country located in the warm heart of Africa with a population of 16.4 million. An estimated 2.83 million people will experience food insecurity during the year. The economy of the country is based on agriculture. The majority of the people in Malawi are farmers who cultivate tobacco for a living. Due to the impact of climate change, decline in global tobacco consumption, and the scarcity of food in Malawi, the farmers need to transition to growing different crops. However, since Malawian farmers have been growing tobacco for so long, they lack the tools and knowledge required to grow other crops. For our systems analysis and design course, we were tasked with building a software system to support the Agricultural Research and Extension Trust of Malawi. They are the premier research institution in Malawi and are responsible for conducting research and providing technical services on tobacco. ARET's vision is to be a center of excellence in agricultural research and technology dissemination, which promotes diversification in the agricultural sector. To accomplish this, they require a system to collect data on the farmers in Malawi and distribute the research conducted within the organization to the farmers of the country. Our project aims to fulfill this need.
To solve ARET's problem, we were split into 3 groups, each tasked with building a different part of the system. The first part was a web portal, where ARET employees could upload research documents and interact with the farmers. The second part, a mobile application to allow farmers to look up research and manage their own crops. Our team was responsible for providing the backend for both these applications. The API provides information from the database to both.
Here's how we built it! Our process begins with first determining the users and the needs of the users for our system. We do this by creating what's called a requirements document and determining must, should, could, and won't requirements for our system. This helps to determine the functionality of our system and is also essentially our contract between us and the client. From the requirements, we then developed a timeline for creating our project. Here are the steps that we've taken for producing this system.
The next stage was a paper prototyping session. This session helped us improve our UI by asking the client to run through some use cases. We will get to see what aspects of the system that the user struggles with. We can then use this feedback to improve that component for future prototyping sessions. For example, we learned that some of our menu buttons were ambiguous. Specifically, the research button was confusing to our users.
Moving on from the paper prototype, we created a working mock-up wireframing prototype. A couple things we learned were that a confirmed password field would be useful and that maybe our color scheme wasn't that great. We also learned to change the research icon to something that made more sense.
Once we gathered all the data from our prototyping sessions, we were ready to start coding. We had to determine the best way to serve information to both the mobile and web team, even though they were using different technologies. Additionally, we had to ensure the fact that our backend was relatively light due to data concerns in Malawi. With all of this in mind, we felt that the best solution was to create a RESTful API that serves information through HTTP requests. We used Python and the Flask web framework to write our back-end routing. For the database, we used SQL Alchemy that used object relational mapping to define our tables as objects. This makes it relatively easy to add future changes to the database. We felt this suited the needs of both the mobile and web team. They were able to create mockups using our API. We provided proper documentation to both the teams to allow them access to the API.